Panathinaikos Athleticos Omilos is a Greek professional football club based in the city of Athens. Panathinaikos can literally be translated as Panathenian, which means of all Athens. Founded in 1908, they play in the Super League Greece and are one of the oldest and most successful clubs in Greek football. They have won 20 Greek championships and 18 Greek cups. Panathinaikos is the most successful Greek club in terms of achievements in European competitions. They have reached the European Cup final in 1971 and the semi-finals in 1985 and 1996. According to the vast majority of researchers and polls, it is the second most popular football team in Greece. Panathinaikos F.C. is the football department of Panathinaikos Athlitikos Omilos, a multi-sport club. In 1979, the department became professional and independent. They have played their home games in a number of grounds, most significantly the Apostolos Nikolaidis Stadium Euro, which is considered as their traditional home ground Euro, and the Athens Olympic Stadium. The club holds a long-term rivalry with Olympiacos, and matches between the two teams are referred to as Derby of the Eternal Enemies. Panathinaikos F.C. is one of only two supporter-owned football clubs in Greece, along with Aris Thessaloniki. History: Panathinaikos Omilos Athenian. According to the official history of the club, Panathinaikos was founded by Giorgos Kalafiotis on February 3, 1908, when he and 40 other athletes decided to break away from Panathinaikos Gymnastikos Siligos following the club's decision to discontinue its football team. The first name of the new club was Panathinaikos Omilos Athenian, directly translated to Football Club of Athens. The colours of the team were red and white and its home ground was in Petition Street. Oxford University athlete John Cyril Campbell was brought in as coach. It was the first time that a foreigner was appointed as the coach of a Greek team. Panathinaikos Panathinaikos Omilos. In 1910, after a dispute among a number of board members, Kalafiotis with most of the players, also followed by Campbell, decided to pull out of POA and secured a new ground in Americus Square. Subsequently, the name of the club changed to Panathinaikos Panathinaikos Omilos and its colours to green and white. By 1914, Campbell had returned to England, but the club was already at the top of Greek football with players such as Michalis Papazoglou, Michalis Rokkos and Laukos Pangas. In 1918, PPO adopted the shamrock as its emblem, as proposed by Michalis Papazoglou. In 1921 and 1922, the Athens Piraeus FCA organised the first two post-WWI championships, in both of which PPO was declared champion. By that stage, the club had outgrown both the grounds in Petition Street and Americus Square, due mainly to its expansion in other sports, and began to look at vacant land in the area of Perivola on Alexandros Avenue as its potential new ground. After long discussions with the municipality of Athens, an agreement was finally reached and in 1922 Leophoros was granted to the club. Panathinaikos Athleticos Omilos. The move to a permanent home ground also heralded another Euro final Euro name change, to Panathinaikos Athleticos Omilos, on March 15, 1924. However, the decision was already taken by 1922. In 1926, the Hellenic Football Federation was founded and the first official Greek championship took place in 1927. Panathinaikos won the championship in 1930 under the guidance of Joseph Kinzela with Angelos Massaris as the team's star player. They beat rivals Olympiacos 8-2, a result that still remains the biggest win either team has achieved against its rival. In 1931, a serious disagreement between leading board member Apostolos Nikolaidis and Massaris, which lasted 2 years, damaged the club and led to a counterproductive period. In the meantime, the HFF Greek Cup had commenced in 1932. The last bright moment for the Greens before World War II was winning the cup for the first time in 1940 against Aris. Until 1965, Panathinaikos had won 8 championships and 2 cups. In 1964, they won the Greek championship without a loss, with Strapan Bobek as coach and great players such as Takis Laukonidis and Mimis Domazos. Panathinaikos is the only team that has won the Greek championship undefeated. Moreover, They were crowned back-to-back champions in 1969 and 1970 and won 2 more Greek Cups in 1967 and 1969. European Cup 1970 Euro 71 finalists. In 1971, under the guidance of the legendary Ferenc Puskás Panathinaikos were 1970 Euro 71 European Cup finalists, losing 2-0 to Ajax at Wembley Stadium. In the road to the final they eliminated Junes, Slovan Bratislava, Everton and Red Star Belgrade. Antonis Antoniadis was the leading scorer in the tournament, scoring 10 goals. In the same year, Panathinaikos played for the 1971 Intercontinental Cup, where they lost to Nacional. During the last amateur years of Greek football, the Greens won 1 championship in 1972 and a double in 1977. Another important moment for the club was winning the Balkans Cup of 1977. Giorgos Vardinogiannis era. In 1979, Greek football turned professional. The Vardinogiannis family, who are mostly known for their oil refining, oil exploration, media and entertainment enterprises, purchased PAO's football department and Giorgos Vardinogiannis became president. Panathinaikos were one of the first Greek clubs that formed a women's team in 1980, but the department is currently inactive. The transformation period lasted a few years, but in 1982 their first professional-era trophy, the Greek Cup, put everything in order and they would go on winning 2 championships, 4 more Greek Cups and the Greek Super Cup in 1988. European Cup 1984 Euro 85 semi-finalists. In the 1984 Euro 85 season, Panathinaikos with coach Jake Gmoch and big stars Dimitris Saravakos and Volodymyr Zajc made an impressive run in Europe, eliminating Feyenoord, Linfield and Gar Paragraph-Toborg to reach the semi-finals of the European Cup. In 1987 Euro 88, they made it to the quarter-finals of the UEFA Cup, eliminating Juventus, Auxerre and Budapest on the copyright D. The 1990s were an even more successful period for the club, both nationally and internationally. 4 Greek championships, 4 Greek Cups and 2 Greek Super Cups were awarded to the club. In the 1991 Euro 92 season, the Greens reached the last 8 of the European Cup and took part in the first ever European tournament to have a group stage. Champions League 1995 Euro 96 semi-finalists. In 1995 Euro 96, with Juan Ramon Rocha as coach and key players Krzysztof Wierzykor and Juan José Borrelli, Panathinaikos reached the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League where they faced Ajax, recording a surprising 0-1 first leg away victory. However, they suffered a crashing 0-3 defeat on the second leg and were thus denied entry to the final once more. A long dry spell commenced after that year's European campaign. 2000 and beyond. In the summer of 2000, President Giorgos Vardinogiannis resigned from his duties and passed his shares to his nephew Giannis Vardinogiannis, who changed the style of the club's management. With the arrival of coach Sergio Markarian, Panathinaikos reached the quarter-finals of the 2001 Euro 02 UEFA Champions League, being eliminated by Barcelona. In the 2002 Euro 03 season, they lost the championship in their last 2 games by arch-rivals Olympiacos. In Europe, the Greens were eliminated in the UEFA Cup quarter-finals by eventual winners Porto. With Itzhak Shum as new coach, Panathinaikos managed to win the double in 2004 after almost 10 years. New players like Ezequiel Gonzalez, Lucian San Martin and Marcus Mar *NCH were signed as summer before. However, Shum was unexpectedly fired early in the next season. Zdeněk Angstrom Asner #1 succeeded him on the bench. In 2005, major changes were made in the team's roster. Many stars like Angelos Bassinas and Michaelis Konstantina departed, while others like Flavio Conceição Picavolta Poundo and Igor Biskin arrived. Angstrom Asner #1 gave his seat to Alberto Malesani. At the start of the 2006 Euro 07 season, Malesani left the team and he was replaced by the lackluster Hans Bach, who left only 3 months after his appointment. Bartomeu +/- then came. For the 2007 Euro 08 season, Panathinaikos hired Jose Copyright for Zero. On April 22, 2008, main shareholder Giannis Vardinogiannis gave a press conference in which he announced the decision of his family to reduce their share in the club to 50% euro after 30 years of full ownership euro through a €80 million increase of the company's capital stock. After the negotiations and the share capital increase, the Vardinogiannis family would hold 56% of the club, Panathinaikos Athlitikos Omilos 10% and the other shareholders 34%. Following the major changes in 2008, Panathinaikos hired Hank Tenkate as coach and bought many expensive players such as Gilberto Silva from Arsenal and Gabriel from Fluminense. In the 2008 Euro 09 season, the Greens proved that they could hold their weight in the Champions League by reaching the last 16. However, they disappointed in the Greek Championship, finishing third in the regular season, though they managed to come second overall after the playoff mini-league. The 2009 Euro 10 season was successful for Panathinaikos. During the summer transfer period, the club bought Djibril Cissé Copyright from Marseille, Kostas Katsarenis from Benfica, Sebastian Leto from Liverpool and various other players, spending more than €35 million. Henk Tenkate left in December to be replaced by Nikos Niopoulos. The team managed to enter the last 16 of the Europa League and win both the Greek Championship and the Greek Cup Euro, beating Aris in the final on April 24. In the summer of 2010, Panathinaikos signed Jean-Alain Boumsong and Sidney Gavot from Lyon, as well as Luis Garcia, Damien Plezis and goalkeeper Daniel Fernandez. The fans showed their support by rocketing their own previous record of 26,002 season tickets to 30,091. However, due to bad performances, Panathinaikos didn't manage to protect their title and they were knocked out from the group stage of Champions League. In 2011, due to financial problems, Panathinaikos sold Djibril Cissé Copyright for a $5,800,000 USS Lazio and first-choice goalkeeper Alexandros Tzouvis to Palermo in order to reduce the budget. New players came like Quincy Owusu-Abe, Tosh, Vitalo and Zekat. The club also changed their president and chose Dimitris Kontikas to be the new chairman. Panathinaikos failed to qualify to the group stage of Champions League as they were knocked out by Odense BK. On September 5, 2011, Giannis Vardinogiannis announced that he intended to leave the club. Panathenian alliance. Panathinaikos' downfall continued as a result of the serious riots in the Panathinaikos Olympiacos derby of March 18, 2012. The entire board quit and Panathinaikos remained headless for about 2 months. The owner of Sky TV, Giannis Alafouzos, however, devised a plan to take Vardinogiannis shares and make them available to fans around Greece so that everyone could contribute a desired amount, so that Panathinaikos could overcome the crisis. His plan seemed to be working as a new 20-member board was elected with Dimitris Kontikas at the president's chair again. However, it was yet to be seen how the fans would respond to Panathinaikos' call for help. On July 2, 2012, the Panathinaikos, or Panathenian Alliance, as one would say it in English, finally opened to the public so that everyone could contribute a desired amount in return for some privileges, such as cheaper prices on the season tickets, provided that one contributed at least a 175. If one contributed a 20, they would have a 10% discount at the Panathinaikos FC stores. After a few weeks of operation, 8,606 members had signed up, some of which were current or former Panathinaikos players. The total contribution reached a $2,325,608. The 18th July 2012 marked a historical day in Panathinaikos history, as Giannis Vardinogiannis gave his shares, 54.7% of Panathinaikos FC to the Panathenian Alliance, thereby allowing Panathinaikos to have a fresh start, with their own fans at the steering wheel. The first season with the Panathenian Alliance at the helm was nothing short of abysmal for the club. While still enduring financial troubles, Panathinaikos finished 6th in the championship and failed to qualify for the European competitions for the first time in 16 years. For the 2013-14 season, the membership had risen up to 9.305 members, contributing a total of $2,580,836. Starting the 2013-2014 season, both fans and journalists were very skeptical of Panathinaikos' chances of a successful season, and a lot of people expected the team to get relegated. In May 2013, Yannis Anastasiou was appointed manager. Anastasiou planned a team based on players from the Panathinaikos youth department, joined by experienced foreign players looking to revive their careers. Despite the early skepticism, Panathinaikos fans supported the team through. The rough start in the season turned out to be a massive success, considering the dire financial situation of the club and the young and inexperienced squad. Panathinaikos finished third in the regular season and second after the playoffs, meaning they qualified for the Champions League. Panathinaikos were also crowned cup winners after a 4-1 win over PAOK F.C., crest and colours. The colours that were first used by the club in 1908 were red and white, but changed to green and white in 1911. In 1918, player Michalis Papazoglou proposed that the club adopt the shamrock as its emblem. He used to have it sewn on his shirt since he was competing for a club in his native Chalcedon, Constantinople. The team's jersey colours are green and white, although the white sometimes is omitted, used as trim or as an alternative. During the first years after the establishment of green as Panathinaikos' primary colour, players were wearing green shirts, white shorts and green socks. Since then, the uniform style has changed many times, but green has always remained the team's primary colour. Stadiums. Panathinaikos' original home ground since the early 1920s was the Apostolos Nikolaouidis Stadium in the Ampelokipoi district in central Athens. The stadium is located on Alexandros Avenue and is most commonly referred to as Leoforos. It is considered one of the most historic stadiums in Greece, as it was used by the Greek national football team as home ground for many years, and even by Panathinaikos' biggest rivals, AEK and Olympiakos. Panathinaikos left Leoforos in 1983 to play in the newly built Athens Olympic Stadium. In 2000, the then-club president Angelos Philippidis announced a return to Apostolos Nikolaouidis Stadium, following a $7 million renovation. Capacity was reduced from 25,000 to 16,620, new dressing rooms were built and modular stand roofing was added in compliance with UEFA requirements, but in 2004 stricter standards were announced and the Apostolos Nikolaouidis Stadium would need further expansion were it to remain suitable for UEFA-sanctioned matches. This was precluded by local zoning regulations, and the team had to return to Athens Olympic Stadium once more until a new stadium, the proposed Panathinaikos Arena, is built. The Leoforos ground is due for demolition in the near future and will become a park. A small section of the West Curve spectator stands, the legendary Gate 13, will be retained and house a small Panathinaikos museum. On January 27, 2007, the board of Panathinaikos decided to reuse Apostolos Nikolaouidis Stadium for the team's 2007 Euro 08 Greek Super League and UEFA Cup home games. Also, the club officials decided to install new lawn, new seats and upgrade the press conference room and the restrooms. As of October 2013, and due to the club's and the country's financial troubles, the construction of the Panathinaikos Arena has stopped, and consequently the plans for the demolition of Apostolos Nikolaouidis have been put on hold. Supporters. According to the most recent polls, Panathinaikos is the second most popular football club in Greece, with nearly 32% of the population supporting them. They have a large fan base in all Greek prefectures, in Cyprus and in the Greek diaspora. Their main rivals are fellow Greater Athens side Olympiakos, while AEK Athens and PAOK share 13% of the fans. The main organized supporters of Panathinaikos are known as Gate 13, which consists of around 80 clubs alongside Greece and Cyprus. Gate 13 style of supporting includes the use of green fireworks, large and small green flags, displaying of banners and especially the creation of colorful and large choreographies, noisy and constant cheering and other supporters staff. Gate 13 has over the years become a part of the club by affecting club decisions and by following the club on all occasions. They share close relations with Ultras Rapid Wien. Statistics and records. Mimis Domazos holds the record for Panathinaikos F.C. appearances, having played 502 first-team matches between 1959 and 1980. Striker Krzysztof Wierzykor comes second, having played 390 times. The record for a goalkeeper is held by Takis Ikonomopoulos, with 303 appearances. Krzysztof Wierzykor is the club's top goal scorer with 288 goals in all competitions between 1989 and 2004, having surpassed Antonis Antoniadis' total of 180 in January 1998. Panathinaikos' record home attendance is 74.493, for a Greek league match against AEK FC. In 1986 at the Olympic Stadium. The record attendance for a Panathinaikos match at the Apostolos Nikolaidis Stadium is from 1967, when 29.665 spectators watched the Cup Winners' Cup game between Panathinaikos and FC Bayern Munich. Panathinaikos holds both the records for most season tickets and the biggest average attendance in Greece. Indiana, 2010-11 Panathinaikos sold 30.091 season tickets, and in 1985-86 the average attendance was 44.942 tickets per game. Panathinaikos is the only club in the history of Greek football to finish a top-flight campaign unbeaten. This happened in the 1963 Euro 64 season. Honours. Domestic competitions: Super League Greece, 1929-30, 1948-49, 1952-53, 1959-60, 1960-61, 1961-62, 1963-64, 1964-65, 1968-69, 1969-70, 1971-72, 1976-77, 1983-84, 1985-86, 1989-90, 1990-91, 1994-95, 1995-96, 2003-04, 2009-10. Greek Cup, 1939-40, 1947-48, 1954-55, 1966-67, 1968-69, 1976-77, 1981-82, 1983-84, 1985-86, 1987-88, 1988-89, 1990-91, 1992-93, 1993-94, 1994-95, 2003-04, 2009-10, 2013-14. Double, 1969, 1977, 1984, 1986, 1991, 1995, 2004, 2010. Greek Super Cup, 1970, 1988, 1993, 1994. Greater Greece Cup, 1970. SEGAS Championship, 1909, 1911, 1912, 1915. FCA Championship, 1921, 1922. Athens FCA Championship, 1925, 1926, 1927, 1929, 1930, 1931, 1934, 1937, 1939, 1949, 1952, 1953, 1954, 1955, 1956, 1957, 1959. European competitions: UEFA Champions League, runners-up, 1971. Balkans Cup, winners 1977. Worldwide competitions: Intercontinental Cup, runners-up, 1971. Youth teams: Greek Amateur Cup 1, 1994, 1995. Athens Cup 1, 1993, 1994. Greek U21 Championship, 2005, 2012. Greek U18 Championship, 2009. Won competitions for amateur footballers: Won by Panathinaikos U21 team. Current squad. As of July 28, 2014, note, flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. Out on loan, note, flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. Panathinaikos U20. Note, flags indicate national team as defined under FIFA eligibility rules. Players may hold more than one non-FIFA nationality. Coaching staff. Management. References. External links. Official website, Panathinaikos F.C. At UEFA, Panathinaikos F.C. At Super League Greece, Panathinaikos Youth Academy.